We're gonna go crazy. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And if you guys, by the way, if you have specific questions that you would like to ask the wonderful people I'm about to bring on stage, you can tweet using the hashtag #FirstUploadVidcon, and I'll be searching that hashtag, and you know, depending on how things go, I'll see what you have to say, and I will ask them, and it'll be great. Are you guys ready to bring out these? Alright, so I know a lot of times the way they do these things is it's like one by one, but I figured what might be more fun is I'm gonna say all their names at once, and then you guys can be as loud as you want and go crazy. And yeah, you're already starting. You're ahead of the game. That's good. Okay, so here we go. All at once. You guys ready? I'm gonna get through all of them. So it's gonna be a lot. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Jenna Marbles flew with so many people here.
How are you doing? You guys good? How are you? Good that you are good today.
It's very I like to think that I can hear one specific person. Guys, this is Marcus Butler with Vidcon. And all I'm going to do is say their names for the next hour, and then you guys can just do all of the feedback, and it's going to be perfect. The way we're going to start this so that everybody can learn some things and maybe get some insight is I thought we could go down the row here, and each of these wonderful people could talk about themselves and just how they're doing, you know, like how good your Vidcon is, if that's okay. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing really good, man.
Okay, good. How are you guys? Are you okay? Good. Yeah, I'm good. Vidcon has been really, I feel like it's been really relaxed for me. Like, compared to usual. But I'm having a lot of fun, and today's my kind of busy day, so
really?
I'm really excited to be here, especially with these guys here as well. So.
Stellar crew. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. This is a really comfy chair, so I'm ready for this next hour. Seriously. It's so good.
Alright, yeah, I felt the same. I sat down and I was like, oh, this is going to be
Damn, my butt is great right now.
Hello, everyone.
Last night I dreamt that I was eaten by a giant lizard, so hopefully that won't happen in the next
Okay.
Did you really dream that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
I kind of liked it in a strange way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's not shame Phil for his lizard dream, okay, people?
It was relaxing and warm.
Felt like sweet relief. Alright, Jenna, how are you?
I'm nervous.
Same.
That's good. Do you guys think Jenna should be nervous, or should, I mean, how are you? No, it's cool. We're having fun. Flula, how are you?
Hello everyone, how are you? So good to see you in the straight line of couches.
Yeah, this is nice. It's like, you ever sit in a bar with like a group of friends and you're all like, hey, how is this?
Hi everyone, how are you? I am very woo as well.
You doing well as I said?
I'm just very woo.
Speaking purely in onomatopoeias. Alright, so the first question that we have here at the first time I hit upload panel is, if you guys, I'm very curious, if you could just describe like the first, if you could describe the first video.
I love Dan's first video the most. Literally my favorite thing.
shows anybody out here who's thinking of becoming a YouTube creator that you can be that bad. No matter how low you think you can go, it might be okay one day. That's, yeah.
I like that. Don't fear rock bottom.
Yes.
What is the video? If for anybody who hasn't seen, I think it's important for people.
I stand by the advice that if you know what you want to do, that the first thing you should do is just introduce yourself. Say, hi, YouTube, this is what I want to do, this is what my video is about. And that's what I tried to do. It was just really terrible. Okay, yeah, that's good.
You're owning it though.
I am owning it. I can never escape it.
There's a lesson there, just in and of itself. Marcus, what about you?
Mine was kind of different to Dan's because when I did my first video, I didn't know what I was doing, so I just sat there in a very monotone, boring voice, and I was like, I might try to sing, I might read stories, I might...
All about what you're about to
I was
do.
like, I might just try everything, and just uploaded that, so it's a very, very bad video.
That's good. It's like a schedule.
Kind of.
Yeah, you're like, hey, this is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a film.
Dinosaurs were still roaming the earth when I uploaded my first video in 2006. I won a webcam in a singing competition, and I got my webcam in the post, and I'd just been watching Smosh and some local girl 15 who was
Nice.
conversation. And I thought, hey, these people are just talking about their lives, I'm just going to press go, completely no edits, and just rambled in the most embarrassing, most boring video ever, and just whacked it on YouTube. I don't regret it now.
Phil doesn't regret it, guys.
I had a very different accent as well.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hello, my name's Phil. Welcome to my video.
I watched it the other day, actually.
Yeah.
You were super, super northern.
It's really weird.
That sounds like the Starks in Game of Thrones.
I did.
Which isn't a bad thing at all. Just
Thank you.
throwing that out there. Jenna, what about you? Your very first. Can you describe, succinctly and if you were pitching it?
I can't even hear you.
Oh, really?
Wait, what did you say?
What can you describe your very first video?
My first videos didn't even have me in them. They were just dogs.
What kind of dogs?
The first one, his name is Itchy, and it was just a video of him going, ow, ow, ow.
I would watch that.
That's the content I signed up for.
I agree.
That's why we do this.
So, I don't think much has changed with me since then. It's still the same stuff.
The same, yeah.
It's
You're on the
still
same
what I want to make,
trajectory.
and it's still what I want to watch. Just dogs saying I love you the best they can.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to do anything. I just uploaded it, and I was like, you're welcome.
You're welcome, girl. This is what I have.
That's it.
All right, Flula.
Hello, Tim.
Hello. Oh, hello. Thank you. Good to see you down there.
Take care.
Yeah. Walk us through your first video, Flula.
I will not just walk you, I will slip and slide you.
Whoa, what a
Shout
shout.
out, slip and slide. Available now at KB Toys.
I didn't hear the last thing you said, but
Oh, did you have a question? Yes.
I was yes and it, but I don't know what.
I was deported. I was in America for some time having good times and sweet tea. Then I was deported and very sad. Then I said, let's make a happy time, so I made a very terrible techno song about the things I love about Germany. Poodles, my grandfather, bread, and a delicious Turkish dish. Shout out to delicious Turkish dishes! Oh, that's very well, I like that. And then it received some views. And then I said, perhaps YouTube exists and I should make uploadings.
Make uploadings, yeah. I think you should
Thank
make
you.
a little rubber bracelet that says "Make uploadings."
Made
Quite
uploadings.
Yeah. Our job, really, when you boil it down, is to make uploadings.
And I didn't even do that.
What's that?
I'm just roasting myself without doing the challenge here.
Okay, next question. We're gonna. Do you guys want to get into like the nitty gritty of
Yes.
it? Buckle up. All right. Did you guys edit the video yourself, or did you have somebody else edit? Did you know what you were doing when you more or less? And since we started down here last time, Flula. Oh, hello to you. Hello. How are you? Did you edit your first video? I mean, if it was techno and all that, was it?
Are you judging techno right now?
Nope.
It is very
I can just see that as one continuous beat. I know, this is tense.
I did edit this on a laptop with software that allows for editing, and then I finished it.
And you clicked
Windows Movie Maker!
and you felt that you were like, there was no like curve, you were like, I'm just gonna dive in and do it.
I did not curve my enthusiasm, I just edited, and then I was finished, and then no one saw it for many years. It was sleeping like a tiny bear in a large cave.
What was the amount of time between you finishing?
That was a great metaphor. It's a tight fit.
Yeah. What was the amount of time between you finishing it and then people seeing it, the masses?
4 years.
Wow.
It had 6,000 views for 4 years.
Wow.
5,283 of those views were my father. And the remaining 717 were my mother. And then someone on Reddit put it up. And hey, you're
And that's what it was? Okay.
funky.
And now we all have Flula.
Hello.
Right, and Jenna, what was your process? Did you know what you were doing? Did you, especially with the dogs?
I had iMovie on my laptop.
Yeah.
Ooh, iMovie. And I learned how to edit by taking pictures of my friends and making really derpy slideshows of them.
Cool.
And then something clicked and I was like, I bet I could do that with a video. And it was a really long process for me to learn how to edit, but I did do the first ones myself and it took me way too long and I did most of them incorrectly. So a lot of them are like pixelated and like there's like a big like black box around it. It's just awful and terrible. But yeah, I mean, I did it. So.
Was that the moment that you were like, I really enjoy doing this. I'm going to continue doing it for years, and it's going to work out. But
I think that moment came a little later.
Sure.
But I liked it, and it made me laugh, so that's all I cared about.
All right, cool, awesome. Feel a little bit.
This is very embarrassing, but I feel like I'm amongst friends. I learned my editing skills from editing fan Buffy the Vampire Slayer music videos. I would choose
on the fan of this train long before any of you.
I would choose a really intense song by like The Offspring or something and just have montages of Buffy kicking stuff. And yeah, that was how I got into editing. And then I thought after making about 6 video blogs with no edits, hey, why not put my Buffy fan editing skills into my videos and try and cut some things together.
And now we have Phil.
Yay!
That was beautiful. And how did you just go for it?
Hello Internet was edited on the Windows Movie Maker, which but honestly, I spent like 3 weeks trying to get it and it didn't even happen. It was just so terrible. So then I hit up Phil for those sweet editing tips. I literally did. And then I got Sony Vegas, which I still don't know how to use. My videos are so bad, so long. I had them like rectangles. In my first video, I thought I'd censor a swear word because I didn't know if it was inappropriate or not. But Windows Movie Maker didn't have timelines, so I just put the sound effect over the sound of me swearing, but I didn't remove the sound of me swearing.
So you got
But
both.
I was like, but you can hear it, so I just made the censor beep really, really loud. But that didn't do anything. It just makes anybody that watches the video with headphones bleed internally.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a tragedy.
I feel like I made that mistake like maybe a year ago. Like, I learned this a long time. I'm like, oh yeah, you shouldn't do that. You should definitely read it. What was it? Do you guys love Dan?
They're just saying that because I know I have crippling ego self-esteem. You're alright.
It's not really hard to fix that. What about you, Marcus? Did you jump right in?
Mine was a little bit similar to Phil's actually. So I was a big basketball fan.
Yeah.
So I used to make edits of my favorite basketball players and upload those to YouTube.
Dude,
really
that's
cool.
Is that true?
And that's how I kind of learned the process of like putting clips together and putting music over the top of it, and then yeah, same as all the other guys, I was like, I'll just give YouTube a go.
That's very interesting because you're not learning by looking at your own face necessarily.
Yeah.
You're like able to exit out of that mentally. Not to get too serious in the technical. I'm taking tips here too, you guys, just so you know. So if at any point I'm like, how do you do it? That's why. Next question. Had you guys, before you uploaded your first video, had you experienced any kind of like internet fame or anything? Like, what was your mindset going into it? Whether it was Buffy or puppies or techno, like, were you just like, I'm doing this for, you know, all those different genres of things? Were you just like, I'm gonna go for it for me, or like, were you like, I hope this goes somewhere?
I think for me it was all about boredom. Like I was at school, I was just bored in my room at home, and I was just messing around with stuff and thought I'd throw it online. And I kept it secret for so long. Like I didn't tell my family, I didn't tell any of my friends, I didn't tell people at college.
But you were still uploading it?
Yeah, I was still doing it. And then one day, a kid at my college, in my psychology class, walked in and he was like, he pointed at me and laughed and he was like, "Ha, I've just seen your videos on YouTube of you dancing." And I was like, "Oh yeah?" And then the teacher put it up on the big screen. And I swear to God, I wanted to kill myself right now. That was like a worst moment.
That's mortifying.
Yeah. I think I blacked out a little just vicariously through that story. I did a thing when I was a kid. I had a commercial on Nickelodeon, and then I didn't expect, for some reason, I didn't expect anybody to see it. And then literally everyone was like, "I saw you after SpongeBob." I was like, "Thanks, I made it, I peaked." And I still consider that to be the case. Dan, what about you?
Well, I got into YouTube as I was a fan of YouTube for several years. As those guys will know. I started watching YouTube in 2005, and I made my account in 2006, and I just watched loads of YouTubers, like all the big American YouTubers, like Shane Dawson, like Charlie is so cool, like Phil, the people that were doing and I really got into it as someone that knew what the YouTube community was for like 2 years, which is really funny. So I kind of had already watched YouTube for so long that I'd been daydreaming, if I ever became a YouTuber, I think it would be like this in my head, but I never thought I'd do it for like various reasons. I was like, I'm not funny, it's not worth my time, it'd never pick up or anything.
It's not true.
There was a good mix of and same there from various guys. But then I was on a gap year before I went to university. I was what do you call that?
A trap. You like take a year between.
Before you go to college.
Yeah.
So I was working at Asda, which is Walmart. And it was terrible. Anyone that works at Walmart, my heart goes out to you. And I was like, you know what? I have literally nothing better to be doing with my life. I will just try this and see what happens. And that's how I
Kind of similar to Marcus with the boredom thing. Like, all right, I'll give it a... Wait, do you feel like you had like a leg up since you had already been immersed in that world?
Yeah, so I kind of hit the ground running, kind of knowing exactly what I wanted. Like if you watch Butterfingers and Procrastination, they were put it on my laptop webcam and they were still edited, like they're so bad, but they still are the like reasons why Dan's the Pale format that I do to this day. So even though it's what I did literally 6 years ago, it shows that from the day I started I knew exactly what kind of YouTube videos I wanted to make. They were just really bad.
I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Phil, how about you?
Well, like Marcus, I was a bit bored and I was just like, I'm just going to try this thing because I've seen other Americans do it, and I thought, how about I give it a go? And a lot of it, I think, for me was also about maybe making some friends in different parts of the world, because back then YouTube had a lot of video responses and things like that. So you'd make a video, and then like 10 people would reply with their own videos about your video. And I just thought that was mind-blowing that someone in America or Japan could have opinions on something I've made, and I'm watching a video of them in their house on my screen, talking back to me.
The internet was still like, wow, you can talk to people from other countries.
Watch
Technology is amazing. So you felt like you were making friends.
Yeah, definitely, but I wasn't setting out to get famous or anything. There wasn't really YouTube fame back then anyway. There was only about 10 of us making videos. And I think I had 100 subscribers it took me 2 years to get 100 subscribers back then. So I was just making it for fun.
I think that's like a good note too, especially for anybody out there who is creating videos. I hear a lot of people who are like, I only have such and such many hundreds of subscribers, but like, there's such and such many hundreds of people in this room right now.
That's
it's
a lot of
still
people.
a big deal. Like, you know, keep at it and enjoy.
Definitely.
The fact that anybody watches any of it is really cool. What year was this that you were?
Early 2006.
Okay, cool.
That's when I started.
You guys remember that, right? Early 2006. Good year. Jenna?
Before I started on YouTube, I was sort of at the point of no return in terms of being on the internet to begin with, because I was working for a blog called Barstool Sports, and I was writing for them and doing stupid stuff for them, and then they kind of let me go.
Oh, nice.
Just in case you ever get fired, it's okay, don't worry about it, it's gonna be fine. And then just decided I was gonna try and do YouTube. But, you know, I had already been in the internet space beforehand, and when I tried doing YouTube, I was just so obsessed with Justine, and I watched her for hours and hours and hours, and I was so discouraged because she was so wonderful and sweet and smart and amazing, and I was like, I am nothing like Justine. I will never be Justine.
She's so good.
She's so amazing.
We love you, Jenna!
Well, thank you. So, I mean,
seven.
I set out to be the best me that I could, while also knowing that Justine was like my idol, and I just want to do her proud. So.
Do you think that you're doing Justine proud now?
Yeah, I still get nervous when I see her and I don't know what to do.
Do you feel like going back to the Barstool Sports? Is what it's
Yeah.
Do you think they're like kind of kicking themselves, or do you think that they're?
I think we have a complicated relationship at this point.
Okay.
I think we're okay because I promised my old boss that he could write his name on my tombstone someday. So. That's all he wanted apparently. So.
Do you feel like there's any lessons because you were already immersed in the internet world that you transferred to YouTube when you started beyond just like Justine was like you're like, all right, I know this X, Y, and Z is going to take me to wherever.
Well, I didn't hear at the beginning, but I think I had like.
It wasn't a good question. It was super convoluted.
I mean, I think I had an audience already, but they weren't necessarily logging onto YouTube. Like,
okay, cool.
Facebook, literally.
That's a good lesson, like, you know, transferring audiences from one social media.
Well, my strategy for Facebook, which was the jam at the time, not anything else, it was the jam, was if someone wants to be my friend, who am I to not want to be friends with them? I'm down. I will accept. And so I had grown like too many friends to have a Facebook at that point. I had to make a page.
And when was this? Like what?
This was like before I started YouTube, sort of like 2008, 2009.
Oh wow. Okay.
9, 10, I don't know. I don't even know. Where's the
Sure,
time?
11, 12, we'll just pick one.
Pick one, I don't know. And then I started posting my videos to Facebook. So.
Awesome. And then from that you went to YouTube?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright.
And then it got weird, got real weird.
Yeah!
And then
Get for your
What?
statement!
How are you doing?
Sorry, it's been 5 humans. What is the question?
No, it's fine. The question is when you first started.
Yeah.
I forgot the question too because I was
I enjoy biscuits. I like.
Oh yeah, what was like your mindset when you first went into it? Were you like, had you already experienced any kind of internet culture, or did you just go for it?
No, I was making lots of great techno songs about grizzly bears and sweet potato casseroles. Charlotte, most delicious dish of Thanksgiving. Don't fight me, it's true. Without the marshmallows, sorry, mellow lovers. Anyways, I was making music videos and then I would just doopy-doop those, whatever the verb for make it go, to YouTube. And then when the deportation video received some views, then I thought perhaps I should start to think in my brain and then record these thinkings. And so I made some vlogs about like the daddy long legs, which is a very stupid name for an insect, sorry. It's very stupid. And then I got so burn, I see you calling, yeah, suck it. And that's it. So then I would make more videos, the end.
Everybody give it up for Flula. Do you guys love these people? They're question. We're gonna get a little personal, if that's okay. I'm leaning back. I'm gonna start with Marcus over here. Your first video. Let's talk specifics. What is the title, and is it still available for the viewing public?
Yes. I feel like I know a lot of YouTubers who don't have their first video available online anymore. I'm not talking about anyone on this stage, by the way. I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone right now. But me personally, my video is literally called My Random Introduction, and it's still...
That's so specific. That's so good. That's exactly what the video is.
Yeah, it's still available. Please do not go and watch it, but it is available, so... Yeah, that was, you scared me though for a minute when you're like, we're gonna get personal.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to get personal.
Okay, I can chill a bit now.
Well, if I say that, that's not true. Just so you guys know. I'm gonna keep it nice and light. Anyway, what are your fears?
I'm scared of bees.
Not the bees!
I have a huge phobia of them. I'm not allergic. I've been stung. Yeah, plenty, but if one comes near me, I'd honestly run away.
Yeah. Dan, what's the title of your first video? Is
Hello,
it still
Internet. Still available? Yeah, that's I've never seen
VHS? It's cool. All right.
Don't play it.
Mine has the catchy name of Bill's Video Blog March 27th, 2006.
That sounds like something like, you know, like when a parent does a trip on a holiday or something.
I know.
It sounds exactly like
Yeah, and that is still on the internet, and it's called Black and White Glory.
I hope you guys are taking notes with all of this. And Jenna?
Jenna Marbles, I think it's called Charles Franklin Marble is a Sad, Sad Man. And it's just Marbles and his love story with his stuffed lion to some really sad Romeo and Juliet music.
Yeah.
He's still up.
You've seen it.
It's lit!
That's a Fluid?
My biggest fear is that if you're on the toilet and you are going the long version of the process, and I'm always concerned a snake will come up.
Did you grow up around snakes?
No, so but I would like to think I'm like Indiana Jones, who does not like snakes, but is from Germany with hat and whip.
I grew up in Florida, and that's a very real fear there, but usually it's like a baby alligator.
From the poo-poo surprise.
Yep, it's a real thing.
Can I just say, I think that goes to show that listening to everyone's title of their first video, it does not matter what you guys call your first video.
It can be that bad, guys. You cannot go wrong. Just try it.
Yeah, Dan kind of hit the thesis at like the very beginning. You were like, it can be just down here.
The bar can be through the
Low.
What was the title of your first video? I'm so sorry.
Why were we talking about fears?
I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get personal, and I was like, oh, I'll get personal.
It was called it's Flula in Germany, parentheses is Opa Pudels. Opa means grandfather. Yeah. So what? Yeah, was that?
You nailed it.
Okay.
That was good. Yep, that is the answer to the question. We're gonna go to Twitter real fast, guys. At RavikPatel97 asked, how weird did it feel to talk to a camera lens for the first time? So this might not necessarily be your first upload, but when you actually started addressing a camera instead of a real person, how did that go? We started with you last time, Marcus. Well, how about we start in the middle? Phil, how did it feel to first talk to a camera?
I kept my videos a secret like Marcus did for a long time, so I'd wait for my parents to go out, I'd wait for my brother not to be there, and I'd just sit there just talking to a camera, and it just felt really bizarre, and I was kind of imagining it was a friend, because I didn't have many friends.
I got too real.
It didn't feel that natural for a while. Yeah, I think I got into the swing of it. I didn't even look into the lens for the first 3 videos. I'm like looking off there somewhere. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. You were avoiding eye contact.
I was.
With no eyes.
Yes.
You gotta start something. Now you look straight down the barrel now?
Now it's like an intense stare with no blinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It doesn't blink, it's really weird.
Fulu, what about you? What was it like?
Oh, the hoppy skippy jump? What is
Yeah,
What? Sorry, it was looking at cameras.
Yeah, right.
I purchased a wig and I place it on the webcam. You purchased? Did you really? A wig. Did you really do it? Like Rapunzel? Yeah. I put it on a wig on the camera and then I had a little smile face under the and I pretend I'm speaking to a pirate with one eye.
Amazing.
Can we have an applause break?
Somebody turn the house lights on there. Like, let's see the people clapping for the wig.
Yes. Marcus, what was it like when you first started looking into the world of a lens?
So, sorry.
It's emotional. It's a hard time.
Just like, oh, it's already like Phil, pretty much. I feel like me and Phil have a lot in common right now.
Yeah,
but same as Phil, I did something weird, which I don't know if anyone else did this, and it took me a year to figure this out. So, when you film a YouTube video, you press record, and that sets the video camera rolling, and you do your video, and then you finish the video, turn it off. I used to press record, say one line, stop the record, press record, say the next line, and I honestly did that for a good year. So I'd end up having like 100 clips for one video, genuinely on my tiny little like flip camera that I used.
Did that make it a little bit easier though? Because you knew you could just.
Well, no, because in my old videos you can see I always come in from this angle. So I've just gone to press, and I started speaking here, so I'd be like, and then I did this. And then I did that. And
so everybody just thinks you're like partially.
Yeah, trying to give them a hug or something. So yeah, awkward.
That's very, I remember when I first started doing it, we didn't have, I started on a channel called SourceFed, so I didn't know, I had never made my own videos, but then, well, they didn't have teleprompters, so we would write the scripts, and then they would tape the scripts, like, between the two cameras, because they would shoot us at the same time, and then I remember, like, literally, we would do kind of the same thing, where we would just, like, look at a line and be like, okay, such and such happened today in the news, such and such happened today in the news, and we would do that for, like, an hour, and then we would end up with a 2-minute video. It was great. Dan?
I came into it obviously having watched a lot of YouTubers, so for me I kind of had that weird perspective of being like, oh, and now I know I'm doing the YouTube thing. So especially in the videos, because some of my videos are vlogs that, you know, it's not scripted. I try to, because I do what a lot of people do, which is tell stories with a mix of vlogging and sketches. So all the sketches were scripted, but all the vlogging was me like waffling for hours and then just desperately trying to cut it into something that made sense. So it was like a mix of me quite articulately going, oh, here's the funny joke that I wrote, and then me just going, like I'd say hello like 15 times, I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hello internet. No, that was weird. Need to try that again. Hello. No. Hello. No. And then I'm watching it and I'm editing it and I'm like, why did I spend 3 minutes trying to say hello right? What is wrong with me?
You gotta nail it now. You gotta get that. Otherwise, they're gonna drop off. Anyway, Jenna, how was it when you were transitioning to vlogging?
My experience was sort of similar to Marcus's because I would shoot on my laptop and it wasn't really weird to look at the camera that's that big, like your eyesight. And I would do clip at a time and put it right in the timeline and edit it as I went.
Oh my god.
And so then I could figure out what I wanted to say next and keep going. I really liked it. I wish I could still do it.
You're the first person I've ever heard that's done that. I feel much happier about my life right now.
I did that for years. And there's like actual old videos where you can see me going like this because I'm stopping and starting the clip.
That's amazing.
And I didn't start shooting it and then like editing it as a whole thing for like years later.
Well, I mean, memory cards got bigger too, I feel like. Because I remember when I was first starting and it was, you know, you just run out of space on your little camera.
Yeah.
So maybe like a little thing, and then it works out, and it's even better. Anyway.
iMovie was classic though. Like the reason why Jenna, me, and Phil, and loads of other people all use the same music and sound effects is that's what you get for free on any Mac in your computer. Seriously. And even though I've like long moved past that, I just love them so much, and they fill me with so much nostalgia that I use them all the time. Like
You still use it? That's awesome.
What's that carousel one?
Carousel,
That goes,
typical
I mean, like that's just like classic vlog soundtrack right there.
Oh, yeah, I think I still use that all the time. When you guys first started versus now, how has your motivation changed for making videos? Like, you know, you're talking about like starting out of boredom and then where you're at now. you know, is it now kind of like a job and it's sort of part of that, and then you do it and you're a professional and it's part of who you are, or is there still those moments where you're like, I'm gonna do this because I feel it and it's like in it, or is it a mixture of both? Flula, I guess start with you.
Oh, okay.
You're hitting it out of the park with the wig and the smiley face.
So I should stop now, is what you're saying?
I mean,
Just
look,
stop.
peeking.
Okay, yeah, now get ready for the deep, deep draw. Hey, yeah, this is what I do. I have a schedule in my brain that I also often break. Then sometimes I have a very terrible idea and I say, maybe I should do that. And then sometimes I eat a snack. You don't know what will happen. I'm like a bouncy ball in a very large room with many, many walls and large, large bounces.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's a beautiful metaphor. I love these metaphors.
Subscribe.
Jenna, how about you?
I mean, to be honest, yeah, it is a job at this point. I'd be lying if I was like, no, it's totally 100% just for shits and giggles all the time. You know, like this is, you guys know it's our job. But in terms of making videos, I think it's a mix of trying to do things that people would want to see from you and things that you actually like really are like, this is ridiculous. I think everyone's gonna hate it, but I'm gonna do it because I want to.
Yeah.
So the balance is still there.
That's awesome.
It's still an amazing job.
I remember, I don't know what, I think it was like Aaron Paul or somebody who was talking about like going from Breaking Bad to whatever, and he was like, there's a rule in indie films where it's like 2 for them and 1 for you, and I feel like that's kind of like a good motto.
I feel like it's
in
like
general.
3 for me and like 1 for you.
Yeah.
No, not, I mean it in like the nicest way possible. I'm like, my videos are terrible because I thought they were funny. But 1 I think you'll like maybe.
Yeah.
And then we get gems like Landshark, which means we'll still watch like every day.
We have like once a month, we're like, let's just put Landshark on again.
Yeah.
Phil, how about then versus now?
Well, I didn't set out for it to be my job, and it has turned into the greatest job ever. I love doing YouTube so much. If I didn't, I honestly don't think 10 years later I'd still be making videos, because it's such a long part of my life to dedicate to doing this thing. But I think looking at the videos I used to make, there is still like the core amazing Phil inside this other amazing Phil. Still talking about the weird people I encounter on a daily basis, and the actual blogging about my life is still part of the videos I make. So I don't think they've changed that much. The quality of the camera's changed, my accent's changed, my hair is slightly less terrible. Generally, yeah. I still see it as something that's really fun to do, but also, amazingly, it's also my job.
Since you've been doing it for like 10 years, which is awesome. Like, what have you learned, and if you could summarize it into like 2 or 3 sentences over the decade that you've been doing it?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
Don't say decade. I'd say you should, if anyone's going into it, is to make things that you would want to watch or that you're happy or inspired to make. Don't look to other creators too much to think, hey, I've got to make my videos like this person because they're doing it successfully. I think you should just do what makes you happy if you're gonna try out this YouTube thing.
Find your own voice.
Well, as I said, because I came into it having like been watching lots of YouTubers for a while, I've always been just very, very creatively inspired. Like from those first few videos I made where I like very clearly knew what I wanted to do with my YouTube channel, to this day it's like, when I get the idea in my head, I still genuinely, I'm not that dead inside yet, I get excited about making that idea. So if I'll just be sat there and I'll be like, you know what? Me hating people that spoil things is a huge thing in my life. I'm going to make a video ranting about how I hate spoilers, and then like I'm still genuinely really excited and inspired to make these little funny
You spoiled your own video!
You can tell he starts pacing around the apartment. I'm like, oh, he's got a video idea, I can see it.
Phil will just see me like silently talking to myself for an hour, and it's like, Dan's in his creative place, and I'm like, what's wrong with it?
He's speaking in tongues.
Can we take a quick moment and just admire Dan's shoes real fast?
Thanks.
I know, I can see him up close, and just so you guys know, they're-
Shout out to my dad, Kanye.
Yeah!
So same as these guys, I feel like everyone on this stage started YouTube before it was ever a job or could ever be a job. So the fact that one day it was like, oh, this can now be a job was like the best feeling in the world, because we were all doing it for fun or boredom or as a hobby or whatever for so long before that happened. But me personally, I actually think I went on a bit of a learning curve. So maybe about a year or 2 years ago, I was looking at the content I was making and I don't think I was happy with it. I was just trying to make videos that I thought people would like. And then I kind of talked about that openly with my audience, and I was just like, look guys, I don't think I'm happy with what I'm doing. I want to go back to just making what I enjoy, and then hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. And I feel like I'm now back to that place of having fun. Of course it's a job, but I'm having so much fun doing what I'm doing, and I think that comes across in the videos.
That's awesome.
Sorry to get like really deep there for a second.
I think the kind of like the running theme here is that there's so much balance involved in all of it. Like I think kind of what you're saying, Dan, about already being immersed in the internet world. There's something to be said for the fact that like it's been around for a while. We're all going to be kind of influenced by the creators we like, whether we like it or not. Like they're going to be a part of us, but at the same time, finding your voice and being like, all right, I'm doing this for me, incorporating myself into it is very good. So see, I mean, I got deep too. I felt like it was really intimate.
You guys are sharing this
The deep
couch. Yeah, we're over here. We're gonna get into like psychoanalysis later. It's gonna be really good. We're gonna talk about our parents.
Oh my god.
Do you guys still, like then versus now on the same theme, do you still get nervous, or like were you nervous when that first video went out? I know a lot of you guys talk about like kind of keeping it under wraps a little bit. Do you ever sort of feel that same thing? And even then, were you worried about what the responses would be? And anybody can chime in.
I get nervous all the time. I'm nervous right now. No, but I'd say anytime I upload something that's like a little new or different, it's scary.
Yes.
Because you don't know how people are going to react.
Yeah.
So I get nervous all the time.
That's
It's
healthy.
good for you, I
Yeah,
think.
nervousness is not necessarily a bad thing. Dan, I look at you.
I mean, thankfully I have Phil to approve my ideas before sometimes I'll think of a video and I'm like, is this funny? And Phil's like, and I get really offended.
I know, I'll just do that. Maybe.
So maybe somebody coming from this perspective might think this, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, I know what I do is perfect. Well, they just said it's perfect.
I think it's good to be nervous because you're making this video for so many people to watch, so obviously it's going to have a bit of pressure, but I think people usually will embrace if you try something new nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's really important to kind of not care too much. Like I'm really a kind of like sometimes you just need to jump into the abyss for no reason without thinking, because I think that you really have like a creative honesty when you don't think about it too much. I think sometimes if you think about it too much, you'll kind of damage yourself when you're trying to express yourself. So it's kind of good sometimes to go, I haven't thought, is this something that only I think is funny, but it's really stupid? Is to click and then see what happens.
Yep, totally. I think the culture has changed a little bit in terms of like, years ago it was like, this is what this person is and this is what this person is. And it seems to me, at least from my perspective, that nowadays people are more like, no, like, go for it, like have fun.
I think the audience also appreciates it. If you do try something new, I feel like with YouTube, I feel like you get a chance. Like if you upload something that is a bit weird and not your usual stuff, your audience aren't going to go, wow, you're crap, I'm going to unsubscribe. They might just comment, this was nice to see you try something new, but I maybe didn't like it as much, but that doesn't mean they're not going to watch your next video.
Right, yeah. There's like actually a thing, I think there's a lot of attention that gets put on just straightforward, mean internet comments, but there's also just sometimes constructive criticism, I think, where like the people who follow you and support you are like, hey, maybe not this so much, just still. In terms
And all ready to post with the thumbnail as well, where usually you just like stop halfway through a video like,
Stuff, because there might be a lot of creators out here that are like, am I doing the right things to like get the algorithm to benefit me? Also, like, and thumbnails are like a whoppy, don't be talked about it.
It's very descriptive, thank you. Just try to be straight up and then put it up there and then...
Dude, I want to combine all the people who speak for a lot of the viewers.
Yeah.
So